Welcome to spelling analysis. Today we get to use our new phonogram, ed-d-t. Let's say the sounds together, ed-d-t. Very good. This is the past tense ending. That means if the word that we're spelling is an action or something that you can do, and you did it in the past, and you hear ed, d, or t at the end, this is how it'll be spelled. So as we're sounding out words, try to be thinking for yourself. Do you think that'll be ed, d, t at the end? All right. The first word is done. I am almost done. Done. Go ahead and say done. Do you hear a lazy vowel saying We will say to spell dawn. Go ahead and say dawn. D-A-N, silent final E. That's right. It's an O saying ah before an N. So be thinking about that as you write dawn. And you could be thinking, I am so done with that. And just be silly with it to help you remember how it's spelled. All right, you sound it out. Now help me to write it. D-A-N, silent final E. All right, why do we have a silent final E in done? You're right, it's an unseen reason. There are not very many words that have an unseen reason. However, the couple that use it are pretty familiar words like done, come, some. Now, why is the O used to spell the sound in done? That's right. O may say next to a W, TH, MN, or V. And here it's next to an N. So though the monks, as they were transcribing, they heard the sound and they chose to write an O to keep too many straight up and down lines from being next to each other. Let's read it. D-A-N, done. And we just call this with Logic of English a lazy vowel because any vowel may say or I. All right, the next word is planted. We planted the seeds. Planted. Go ahead and say planted. How many syllables in planted? Two. Very good. We will say to spell plant, ed. What will we say to spell? Plant, ed. Outstanding. Let's sound it out. The first syllable is plant. P-L-A-N-T. The second syllable is ed. Ed. Oh, there it is, ed-t. Excellent. Go ahead and write plant, ed. I love how you're sounding it out. Now, help me to write it. P-L-A-N-T, ed. Now, how will we mark it? We'll underline the ed, d, t. Let's read it. L-A-N-T, ed. Planted. Notice, I plant the seeds. I planted the seeds. This is a past tense ending. The next word is pushed. I pushed the shopping cart. Pushed. Go ahead and say pushed. All right, let's sound it out. Sh. Pushed. T. Do you hear it? Pushed. It's a t sound. Let's sound it out again. Sh. T. Pushed. That's an ed-t again. I love how you're sounding it out. This is an interesting word, isn't it? Let's sound it out together. Sh. T. All right, how will we mark pushed? What sound of u, do we hear? That's right, we hear the broad sound. So we'll put 2 dots over it because it's saying it sound push. And then what else do we do? We'll underline the sh and we'll underline the t. What sound of ed, t do you hear in pushed? Oh, it's the third. That's right. Let's sound it out. Pushed. Pushed. Wow, that's really an interesting word. Good job analyzing it with me. The next word is called. I called my mother on the telephone. Called. Go ahead and say called. Called. How many syllables in called? 1. All right, let's sound it out. Use a k, s, ah, A, d. Let's sound it out again. Called. K. Use a k, s. A, d. Called. Go ahead and write called. I love how you're sounding it out. Now, help me to write it. K, A, d. All right, how will we mark called? What sound of a, do we hear in called? You're right, the third sound, which we call the broad sound. And what sound is this making? Called. It's making ed, d, t. The second sound, d. Let's sound it out. K, A, d. Called. Wow, these are interesting words. The next word is tunnels. We can make tunnels in the snow. Go ahead and say tunnels. How many syllables in tunnels? 2. We will say to spell tunnels. What will we say to spell? Tunnels. Let's sound it out. The first syllable is ton. N. The second syllable is nels. Z. Go ahead and write tunnels. Good job sounding it out. All right, help me to sound it out. The first syllable is ton. N. The second syllable is nels. Z. Now, how will we mark tunnels? What sound of z do we hear? The second. Okay, a few things about this word. What if we took off the S? What do we get? Tunnel. And if we add it, we get tunnels. One tunnel, many tunnels. To make a word plural, just add S, unless the word hisses. Does ol hiss? Nope. Or changes, then add es. So here we just add an S. Now, let's read this word. Tunnels. All right, I hear myself saying tunnels. Did you hear? This is a lazy vowel. So when we sound it out, tunnels, tunnels. So we sound it out, or we try to articulate each vowel so that we can remember how that vowel is spelled. But we need to remember that in English, any vowel can say a lazy sound. And that's an important thing as you learn to spell in English to realize. Great work spelling some very interesting words today.
Combining the science of reading with the joy of learning. Learn more at foundations.logicofenglish.com.